Roll the corn. We know the truth now. Peace to my beautiful people from this beautiful land. I love you, and I'm in love with you. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Put where you're from and put the corn in the chat. Big Dream Creators. Sean I Rise, what up? Roll the corn. Indian J. Let me share the live. We know the truth now. Hit the like button, hit the share button. We know the truth now. Shakora Goods, what up? Chris, what up? Roll the corn. Now today, I'm gonna let Rashad Poet gonna come up and drop some jewels. So y'all get ready for Rashad Poet. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Put where you're from and put the corn in the chat. Roll the corn. Akir, Royal Lee, what up? Armand Nobles, Miami, Mr. Aboriginal. Love you, and I'm in love with you, fam. Big Dream, you already know what it is. Tantrum Artwork, roll the corn. Just Coco. I'm gonna let Rashad Poet come up and drop some jewels today. But I want to show y'all something real quick, right? Just for people that be in my now, he says what you call Earth is now Atlantis. 900 years ago, they changed the name to Earth. Chosen 44. I don't know who that is, but you sadly mistaken, bro. Earth was not called Atlantis. You been listening to them Jaguar priest niggas. Stop listening to them Jaguar priest niggas. Thinking you know some knowledge. They gonna lead you wrong every time. They so deep into Atlantis that they don't even understand where none of this stuff come from. Right? Lonely Wolf, what up? They so deep into Atlantis, they don't even understand where stuff come from. Now, what you call Earth is now Atlantis. 900 years ago, they changed the name to Earth. No. You a damn lie. Let me teach you something. Aritz is earth, ground, soil, the physical world. Aritz. This is what your ancestors called the planet. Aritz. Not no damn Atlantis. Atlantis comes later. Atlas star. The Atlas star named Atlantis. Eritz is the original word where they get earth from. See, all these hunter-gatherers on the internet trying to teach, it ain't earth, it's Atlantis. No, that's all y'all know about it. Y'all Atlantis-ass niggas. Atlantis. No. Earth come from Eritz. Roll the coin. Benjamin Zeus, I got you too, bro. I ain't forgot about you, Benjamin. I got you, bro. Eritz. That's where the name Earth come from. The soil, the ground, the physical world. Then Atlas, they started naming them the Atlanteans because they knew about the Atlas star. People, the Atlas star is a part of the Pleiades star system. So when you put that in your teachings of astrology, they called them Atlanteans because they used the Atlas star of the Pleiades star system. That's where Atlantean come from. They called the astronomers Atlanteans. Right? Even in Egypt, they knew about Atlas. So, all these damn Atlantean niggas, no. Eritz is way older than the word Atlantis because you knew about the planet before you knew about the stars, right? You always lived on the planet. Then you have to learn astrology to name something after astrology. But the Eritz been here the whole time. You were born, we got to get back to the real meaning of these words, people. All that trying to sound smart and all that old using certain words, that shit over with. Right? You got to get back to the real meaning of this stuff. Now I want to show y'all like I talked about yesterday, I want y'all to start studying Sidon. Sidon, people. This is the original word for the Phoenicians. Right? They wasn't called Phoenicians. See, when you start to teach it, you got to go back and find the original words. The Sidonians is the real name of the Phoenician. Where they come from? You see it. They said they are from Sidon, the land of the palm tree. It sure ain't over there. So what you got to understand is there are codes over everything, people. The words are codes. Now they found a Phoenician artifact in Brazil. In Brazil, it said that we come from the land of Sidon, and we traveled around Africa. Well, that continent at the time. We traveled that area. They wrote this in ancient texts telling you that they traveled in boats around that continent and settled over there. But they won't teach you that. And it was found in America. So that we came from Sudan. No. Not Sudan. They said they're from the land of Canaan. The place is called Sidon. The second Sidon is in the Mediterranean Sea. The second Sidon is in the Mediterranean Sea. They come from Timeri. Sidonians is not the name of nowhere over there. Their name come from here. Wish I had the receipt, but I ain't got to load it up right now. Now I'm going to let Rashad Poet come on up, man. Rashad, hop in the guest box. Whatever we feeling today, we gonna run down through some receipts. Y'all follow Rashad Poet. Yo, my bad, bro. My bad, Rick.
Peace,
Yo,
peace.
peace and love, bro.
Hell yeah, what's good with you, man? How
What's
you
up,
doing?
man? What's up? I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, man?
Shit, chilling. Another beautiful day.
Yes,
Growing,
sir.
growing this food and shit. Growing this food. Getting back to nature,
I've been
like people
seeing you,
talk
bro.
about. Oh yeah, man, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's
I
all
gotta.
about.
I'm trying to get as many people as I can on it. You feel me? Whether you grow on one thing or a million things, I don't care. We just gotta get used to it again. As soon as you put your hands in the dirt, you be like, oh, damn, I was supposed to be here the whole time.
The whole time, bro. The whole time. And once we understand it, it goes back to all of the old teachings of where things really come from.
Yeah, that's everything. So I was all the information comes from our people, right?
Yeah.
Wherever you find it, wherever you find
Wherever
it,
we
you can
find it.
you can connect it back to us, right? So I was
Exactly.
reading this book about alchemy. Hold on, I'll be right back, Kylie. So I was reading this book about alchemy, and in the book, it was saying that the only thing that we have in common with the infinite is the name, right, and not the name in the sense of the name, right?
Hmm.
And it sounds like a puzzle, but in reality, the name is nature, right? So the only thing we have in common with the infinite is nature, right? And then
Exactly.
once you get reconnected to nature, you get reconnected to your essence, right? Because that's what they try to steal you from. They try to take your essence away from you, right? But this goes
Exactly.
into, hey, y'all got to be patient with me. This nigga hit me up 15 minutes ago talking about I'm about to go live.
Hey, I kind of felt like I wanted to kind of, today I wanna, look into some other stuff, man. I said, let me hit him up, see what he got going. So y'all be patient, man. Y'all be patient.
Yeah, he ain't give
But
me a
but
chance.
but your book, I want to promote your book. You know what I'm saying? Because from the things you teach on your live, bro, it's so connected to nature and to the soil, and I really connect with it, bro. That's why I really show this mad respect for you, bro.
Bro, that's what it's all about, man. There ain't nothing else to it. Nature is everything, and if you ain't connected to nature, you ain't connected to nothing.
Nothing.
Like when people talk about the Most High and God and everything, that's what nature is. And if you don't realize that, then you're confused,
You
right? The
confused.
the ancient teaching says when you go out and you find the Most High equally situated in all things,
Hmm.
that's when you stop destroying yourself. But all things is nature, you feel me? So when you stop destroying nature, that's when you stop destroying yourself, right? Because you're
Exactly.
connected to it.
Exactly. And as I put out like a week ago, I went into the ancient word of Choctaw and Choctaw,
Oh yeah,
which
that
is
shit was beautiful.
which is Shakla, which is the agriculture people in Hebrew. That's where that Choctaw and Choctaw even come from, and that been a powerful thing because it connects right back to all the teachings that been coming out lately. You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
Everything.
It connects to everything. And since you want to promote hey, look, we could talk about the book, Slim, because hey, look, I ain't gonna hold you. I've been talking about culture for forever. I've been, you know what I'm saying?
Agriculture.
You feel me? I've been on this shit for a minute, and I've been growing food for a minute, trying to tell people like this is what they stole. So when they be like, you don't have no culture, I promise y'all, they're not talking about dancing. They're not talking about your clothes. They're
Exactly.
not, you know what I mean? They ain't talking about none of that. When they say you have no culture, they're talking about they stole your land.
Exactly. And then, like I be saying, the Berber culture is barbarism. Berber comes from barbarism.
Facts.
Barbarism means no culture at
Yeah.
the end of the day. So somebody got these people a culture and they're hiding who gave them their culture,
They
which
were
is
pirates.
our blood, our people.
They were pirates, man. What do pirates do?
Still.
Steal, kill, and destroy. Right?
Exactly.
Barbary pirates. That's what it
Exactly.
was. You know what I mean? So
Let's do it.
culture, this is how I started the whole thing, right? Because that's what everybody says. What happened to your culture? So I was like, well, let's see what culture really is. You know what I'm saying? So culture is the tilling of land and act of preparing the earth for crops, right?
Fire.
That's what culture is. The tilling the land, the act of preparing the earth for crops. This is what it means. So when they say you don't have no culture, we steal your culture, I promise you that's what they're talking about. Because they can't be talking about nothing else, because we got the most culture in the world, right? So that's what they did. But the thing about it, hold on, y'all. I be reading books, Slim, so sometimes I gotta turn these pages, y'all. So y'all just be patient with me, right? Tap the screen and roll the corn and all that other shit. You feel me? All right, culture. The arts, right? So the arts, when you really get into this information, you'll realize that arts doesn't just mean coloring. You know what I'm saying? Arts is magic. Arts is rituals. Arts is everything. It's the sciences, you know, astrology, astronomy, mathematics, right? Divine mathematics. I seen We Know the Truth was talking about math the other day, and I was like, oh shit, we about to get into something for real. You know, that mathematics is deep, right? The arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. The customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social groups, right? So they had to do a couple things, right? One of those things was they had to steal your culture, right? But in order for them to steal your culture or your land, you know, and keep it, they had to also take away your nation, because your nation is connected with your culture, right? So they had to take your nation, people, which is personhood. You know what I'm saying? They had to take your personhood, your statehood, your nationhood, right? In order to take your culture in totality.
Let me throw something in there.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
When they talk about Oklahoma, like it really comes from Oklahoma, Humma. That means brown nation. Homa means brown people, and Okla means nation or tribe or people. So by cultural assimilating like a name like Choctaw, you're taking their land, you're taking their culture, you're taking their essence all in one, right?
Facts. Exactly. That's 100% what it is. Because what is your essence? Your essence is your true being, right? So when they're trying to take your essence, what they're trying to do is they're trying to take your true being, right? And your true being is connected to nature, right? So what they've done this whole time is disconnect you from nature, right? Disconnect you from God. And when they disconnect you from nature, they could give you a system, right? They give you alternatives. That first definition was from this, right? Get a screenshot, everybody. If we wanna get this information out there for real, we gotta support each other, right? Right. So what they had to do is they had to disconnect us from nature, right? Because nature is God, right? And if we're connected to nature, then we're powerful. That's our most powerful state, right? So instead of keeping us connected to nature, they send us into hospitals and give us alternatives, right? Where they alter nature, and they give us the alternative, which is they've changed our God. That's what they mean, because nature is God. So an alternative means that they changed your God. So anytime you turn your back on nature and you go to a system, you're choosing another God, which is not your own, right? And that's the reason why everybody's sick and suffering, right? That's the reason why. You feel me? That will be the reason why over 95% of the world's population has health problems, with over a third having more than 5 ailments, right? Because you turned your back away from God. But God told you, right? The infinite has told us in so many ways that there's that, you know, I don't want to say nothing on your live, but there's a solution for everything, right? You know what I mean? I don't want to say it too deep.
Go ahead, bro.
All right.
Let's just do it.
All right. Look, there is no disease. And remember, when y'all hear God's name in different names, don't let it take you away from the truth, right? All these books have the truth in it because you can't lie to a person. I don't want to call y'all persons, forgive me. You can't lie to an individual unless you tell them some kind of truth, right? Or they're gonna sniff it out, right? We have a soul. You can't just lie to us. You gotta put some truth in there so that it could resonate with our soul, right? The only people that'll accept a whole lie are people without a soul. That's why we're fucking with these Native Americans right now. But either way, there is no disease that Allah has created except that He has also created its treatment, right? The treatment is in the herbs, right? But somebody's been lying. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this work for a minute, y'all, trying to get people back to nature. We ain't fucking around. You feel me? So go show some love and support. You had hit me up, Slim, and I was like, man, I don't know where to go with this shit. And I was like, well, I heard you
Bro,
on one of your
just
lives.
start from the top, cause the basic teaching it leads the right way. So you start in the right spot. You on time, bro. This what I'm trying to hear.
You know what I mean? This is the shit we got to get back into,
Exactly.
right? All right, so fuck it then. Let's go. We talked about culture, right? So this is the important thing, right? So it's a collective achievement, right? So the collective achievement would be us cultivating all of this land, right? That's what we did as a nation. We were cultivators of land, which means that we were connected with the Most High through nature. And that's just what our job was. Our job was to stay connected and take care of the earth. Ain't nothing more to it. You know, it's the easiest thing to do.
They said the most basic thing is being a steward of the land. That's the most. That's what we were here put for here in the first place.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where the religion part comes in at after that. And it turns into a religion, but it starts off as stewards of the land. That's why in the Bible talk about stewards of Jesus was a steward of the land. You see what I'm saying? So it's coming from all of that.
Exactly. Look, the Christians did it. So shout out to y'all Christians for destroying the world. At a time when the most insignificant provinces of Moorish Spain contained libraries running into thousands of volumes, the cathedrals, monasteries, and palaces of Leon under Christian rule numbered books only by the dozen. So they went from having thousands upon thousands of volumes of books with detailed information about the stars and everything to only a dozen books. The paltry number of texts the Christians did possess were almost all devotional and liturgical, right? So they went from having thousands of volumes trying to figure out ancient esoteric wisdom to having a couple dozen books that were all about the church, right? Because the church was set out to destroy you and your ancestors. And that's what they've been doing since their conception, right?
Exactly.
But is there anybody in here in the comments? You know, let me get y'all involved. Is there anybody in the comments that has herbs in their house? Herbs and spices, and have you ever used these herbs and spices to feel better?
Every day. Some of them gave me some tips.
You feel me? Hey, look, we love a herbalist, right?
And that's why they tried to demonize herbal using herbs, because they knew that was the real way to heal yourself without buying their products.
Exactly. So watch this. So if you're dealing with a Christian and you pull out some candles, some gems, some like gemstones and some herbs, what are they gonna call you? Definitely if you're a woman and you do it. What is the word? Anybody in the comments, y'all know what word they're gonna call you if you pull out some gems? Oh, there we go. Witch. they gonna call you a witch, right? That's the first thing they're gonna do. It runs in their blood, y'all. You can't be mad at them. That's all they know how to do, right? Now, this is the demonology of King James. I say and prove by diverse arguments that witches can, by the power of their master, cure and cause diseases, right? Cure, though, that's the real thing, right? So they were trying to take over this medicine, the medical field, right? Where's the medicine at? The medicine's in the land. So in order for me to conquer the medicine and keep the people sick, what did I have to do? I had to get rid of the people who know all about the medicine. And who knows all about the medicine? The witches, right? The
Exactly.
witches, you know what I'm saying? The witches know all about the medicine. Hey, look, y'all got to be patient with me. I'm just getting to my shit. You know what I'm saying? I only had a couple minutes to get it together.
And you do lives every day. Stop.
You know what I mean? All right, so let's go back. Watch this. All right, so da 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 da. So they were having, y'all heard of the witch trials, right? So they were having witch trials and pogroms against herbalists, right? So when they talk about the witch trials were because witch means she who knows, right? And she who knows would be she who knows how to heal people, right? Herbalist, right? So they were attacking herbalists and ritual workers, right? Now watch, look, I'm gonna show you. In common, it's the Catholic Church that's doing this to y'all, right? In common with the Catholic movement of the era, which saw its own share of witch trials, right, and pogroms against herbalists and ritual working. Roll the corn if you're a herbalist and you do ritual working. You know what I'm saying? Roll the corn if you are an herbalist and you do ritual working, right? Now, remember, they said witch trials and pogroms. Now, we got to get into the words, right? Because words are spells and curses. You feel me? So what is a pogrom? A pogrom is an organized massacre of helpless people, right? So all of y'all that said y'all have herbs in your house and candles and stones, if I'd have did this a little while back, you know, a couple hundred years back, they would have screenshot all of y'all. and they would have been on their way to your house. You know what I'm saying? They'd have been on their way to your house, right? Because this is, what do they say? His rudiments, I call first in general, all that which is called vulgarly the virtue of words, herbs, and stones. That's what they're saying. They were saying that y'all were healing the world using words, herbs, and stones. And one of the reasons why they were trying to unalive everybody is because those with the information, look at this, right? I mean either by such kinds of charms as commonly daft wives use, right? So they were saying that y'all were able to heal the world using housewife things, right? Which is just herbs and shit you find in like the kitchen. And don't get offended by housewife and herbs in the kitchen, right? Because, you know, a woman has healing hands and healing nature. There's a reason why they wanted to get you out of the house and into their system. I promise you. Because you ever eat your grandmother's food and you be like, damn, she put her foot in that shit. You know what I'm saying? But really, that represents her putting her soul into it, right? So if your grandmother passes away, you have the ingredients to make what she used to make, you feel me? It still won't taste the same. You know what's missing? Your grandmother's soul in the food. That's an ingredient that's missing. But that soul that your grandmother put in there was healing your entire family. That's why when you go to your grandmother's house and she cooks that home cooked food, you'll never get that taste again, no matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? She could have wrote down the ingredients to the T for you, and it's just something missing. It's her, right? So they were curing the worm, and we know the worm is parasites. You feel me? The worm is parasites, and that's what everything stems from, right? They were They were stemming blood, right? That means stem cell research. So they try to tell you, oh, we're practicing medicine. We're just now learning these things. Nigga, in the times of King James, they were doing stem cell research. Come
Exactly.
on, Flip. What do you mean? What do you
Exactly.
mean you just found out about penicillin? Come on, like, hey, it is what it is, right? By healing of hoarseness, turning the riddle, or doing such like innumerable things by words without applying anything meet to the part offended as mediciners do, right? So you ever dealt with an elder that said they're gonna speak over you? You know what I'm saying? You from the South. I know you had elders that like
Oh
be
yeah.
speaking
Oh
over
yeah.
you. You
A
know what I'm
lot of
saying? Say that again.
I said, oh yeah, a lot of them. A lot of elders, aunts, uncles, grandparents, a lot.
Facts, right? So when they were doing that shit back in the day, and even today, you know what I'm saying? They were healing each other. I mean, we were getting healed through that, right?
So
We
it's
were
kind
getting
of,
healed.
so let me ask you a question. They were so connected to nature that they understood what it took from nature to heal us because they understood that we were from the planet and only the planet could heal us.
Bro, that's a fact, Slim. Now look, think about it like this, bro. Like if when you go out, so this is what I've learned from growing food, right?
Yeah.
Every year that I go out and I start to plant my stuff, the animals watch me. They watch me all day while I'm out there. They be paying attention. They be sitting on the fence, sitting in trees, looking at you, trying to see what the hell you got going on. Because human beings are evil, right? So now that nature has to pay attention to you to see if you're a god, a goddess, or are you a human being? And it's a big difference. It's an extremely big difference between being a god and a goddess and a goddamn human being.
That's fire.
All right. So,
Yeah.
so they be trying to figure out, are you a human being or not? And then once they realize you're not a human being, they start to fuck with you and they start to respect you. And then you start to pay attention because they're always around and you're in their environment and you're in the environment. You start to see what the ants are doing. You start to see what the rabbits are doing. The you know what I'm saying? And then you start to pay attention. Oh, these animals don't go near this certain thing.
Now let me ask you a
So
question. Have you ever seen something like this? The first, like like they talk about the king's list, right?
right,
The royal people list. Royalty comes from the first people with knowledge of agriculture. It's the bloodline of the so-called tribes, right?
facts.
And so I wanted people to understand that when they talk about these kings lists in Samaria, these kings lists in Egypt, and these mounds over here that they don't show the real artifacts from, that comes from a bloodline of the first kings that made what made them kings were they were knowledgeable agriculture people.
Exactly. Because all right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, Slim. Hey, when I tell you the word shit is deep, watch this. Right. So they turned us into husbands and wives. Right.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be masters and mistresses.
Mm.
All right. So the man is supposed to be the master of the house. Excuse me. The wife is supposed to be the mistress. Right. Now they'll tell you all these weird things, but trust me, it's not what you think it is. Right. A husband. Right. It comes from Wyro man. Right. But that's a werewolf. It's a monster. You feel me? But it's also a housebound man, and it's really a peasant. All right, and a peasant works a field, right? A peasant works a field, right, but doesn't own it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Look, you see right here,
It's deep.
peasant, right? So they turn niggas into peasants. But
So it's more.
watch, you just
So it's more like they turned into like servants
yeah, like
the
so
people
you're
who
the
already
servant
did it.
of the household,
Uh-huh.
but you don't really own it. Right? That's why you pay mortgages and shit. And a mortgage is a death pledge,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
The mort, M-O-R-T. This is the death. right?
Like mortuary, same thing.
Exactly.
Hmm.
All that shit, right? A peasant is a rural person. Watch this, because everything is about rank, right? So if you talk about like royalty, that would be the highest rank, right? But a peasant is of inferior rank or condition. You know what I mean? Usually engaged in agricultural labor. You feel me?
Hmm.
Now, what is a wife? And now, like,
So it's kind of like the royalty put the field there, and they teach the peasant how to work the field
yeah.
because
So
they
imagine
are a lower being. Oh
it's like
well,
a share.
lower.
It's like a sharecropping thing. Like if you're generous, you let a peasant work your fields, and in turn, you give them something. Like, give me 7 years of your life, and I'll give you 15 acres of land. And during those 7 years, I don't have to work as much because I have somebody doing the work for me. And
So over
in return,
time, they use that as indentured servitude all through Europe, and then when they got over here, they done the same thing.
facts.
That's why they were trying to make themselves at the top of the. They learned that from ancient culture. They tried to use it to make themselves at the top of the food chain when it comes to that part.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Right.
Because what people don't
Now,
understand is one more thing to throw in there. What people don't
uh,
understand is these kings and queens in England and in the UK got rich off agriculture. People don't understand it.
oh yeah. Hey, look, we about to get into that shit too. Slim, watch. I'm gonna tell
Okay.
you. I got some screenshots that we're gonna get into that too, because these people became extremely rich. You feel me? Look,
Extremely.
I took notes. This is hey look. Hey, I took notes because I really like to have like shit in order. And I was like, damn, let me take notes, man, because I don't want to get up here and do too much freestyling. But here we are freestyling. You know what I mean? It's all good. When you fucking
Oh,
with the
good.
truth, you can freestyle all day long, right? Because it's all connected. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But a wife leads to a queen, right? We talking about kings and queens, right? A wife is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm telling y'all, this shit is really deep. A wife is a bitch, right? You see that?
That's the original meaning of wife. See, I
Right?
didn't know that. That's crazy.
It's from the Dutch, right? Bitch. You see that? All right. And a queen. What is a queen? Right? A queen is a woman, a lowborn woman, a female serf, a prostitute, right? That's what those things are. Vain and worthless, right? So you got a bitch and a werewolf, right? What are those both? Those are dogs, right?
Exactly.
Those are dogs. So they turned you into dogs. And this is what they turned you into, right? With a
So
werewolf.
hold on, because these people they in the comments going crazy. Hold on. Now let's take that into context. So
Yeah.
they were using what they really were to change the name to try to make everybody under that umbrella.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, you got it. Go ahead.
A husband, Haley, a husband means a peasant and a slave and a werewolf, right? Right? But it really don't get too caught up in that, because what it really means is a human being, right? That's why I was trying to say, if you either a god or a goddess, or you a human being, right? Now,
So these are just totally like our people, and no people are just so far apart totally in like
completely.
beings on the planet.
The only thing that they could do is try to switch us out with each other through
Yeah,
propaganda.
act like we was the this and that, and which they called themselves at first.
Exactly. It was the old switcheroo
So they lowered our vibration by putting their low vibrational names
on us.
on us. That's crazy.
And then like in law, the term would be acquiesce, right? So acquiesce basically means you submit to something, without too much of a fight, whether it's right or wrong, you just take it. So we acquiesce to these things. So then the karma that they would face, they no longer face, because we're claiming to be these things without them even have to tell us at this point. You feel me? Like like niggas will look at their beautiful brown skin and call themselves black. And I ain't know we don't have to get into that.
Yeah.
because I know that'd be making people feel some kind of way, and I know that black has whatever meanings that you people like their feelings and stuff. So I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Get to their
I don't
feelings.
want to
Yeah.
fuck with people's emotions because I'm telling the truth.
And let me ask
You
you another
know,
question. How you feel about this? Okay, we over here, then you got Africans, right?
right,
They fall under that culture of using those terms in ancient like it's two different, those are two different cultures, so they fall into this culture also. They
bro.
speak these type of
Hey,
words.
look, Slim. Let me read this, and I'm gonna tell you about Ethiopia. Watch this. Monster, a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. So we don't resemble lower animals, but they had to tell us that we do by calling us husbands and wives and queens and bitches and all these different terms, right? A monster have no inheritable blood and cannot be heir to any land, albeit it be brought forth in marriage, right? So that's why they came over here try to do all this marriage shit, right? Now, when it comes to the Africans,
Exactly.
right? Do you remember Africa be called a majority of Africa being called Ethiopia?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have. All right, man. No offense to Africans, but Ethiopians are troglodytes. You know what that means, right? That means they're cavemen, right? So the same motherfuckers that are trying to come over here and say we're them, they're doing the same thing because we're not on that level. We're above these things,
Now, let's
right?
go. Let's go a little deeper, right? Before you keep going.
Yeah,
Okay, if we come from the agriculture,
facts.
we are the bloodline of the kings, and we are the people. Now, when they
Hey, look, I wouldn't even say king, Slim. I would say like gods,
we're not kings, we're your gods.
because king, and I'm
You're
just
right. You're
saying
right. You're right.
a king. If I'm a king, that means my wife has or my counterpart has to be a queen, and a queen is a whore. So I'm just,
Exactly. You're
you know
right.
what I mean?
You're right. Okay. So if we are the gods of agriculture, they
Facts,
are not. They are not. We must understand that those people come from a different land mass than we do.
indeed,
The land mass births the people. From my research,
100%.
they try to act like all us are the same people, but land masses bring about people. So if this land mass brings about our people before them, that separates the bloodlines, and that's what they be talking about. Like you just said, you got to marry into these people to even get a part of their land because they was on the land first.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
And the thing is, that shit didn't even happen enough, right? So what they're really doing is they made us acquiesce to colors, right? Man, this shit is deep, bro. Like they made us acquiesce to colors, right? And it puts us in a bad situation because then we find ourselves dealing with like color of law and things like that, things
So
that don't really exist.
like you said, they already know they got to marry into this god and goddess bloodline. They already know it
Right.
because they come from that lower being that they already know we got to marry into these people's
Bloodline.
bloodline. So that's why they came over here and wanted to marry everybody over here and have kids with everybody over here just to get into the bloodline of these people.
Right. That's why if you see treaties, a lot of treaties, a wife was taken.
Yeah, I read that a couple of times. You're exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. So and when we go throughout history, we already see that they were doing things to become a part of these greater people over here.
Exactly.
They already trained to do it because they already knew what they had to do to even be a part of any land talk anyway.
Yeah, because they can't inherit anything.
Let me get into that too. What people don't understand about the tribes they had, it was the promised land. See, they think we're talking about paradise, but they're talking about your ancestors promising you their land, and they knew that.
Exactly. This
See,
land
people
is
think the
promised us.
promised land is paradise. It is, but at the same time, promised lands mean your great ancestors promised their descendants the land. And it had nothing to do with those people in particular, because we were before them. It only makes sense.
It's too. Hey, look. Once you start to put it together, you be like, yo, this shit is too. This shit is too easy, right?
Yeah, it's
So
easy to all
how
go together.
it's too easy, right? So how did they get you? How did they get you to switch like without the marriage and all that other stuff, right? Because we don't really do that mixing shit. They lied and said we do, but we don't, right? So what they do is they gave us colors, bro. They gave us colors, and this is the law. So you can argue with your. Hey, I don't do no back and forth. You feel me? If y'all don't want to accept the truth, then it's on you. This is the law, right? So black can mean whatever you want it to mean in your own personal time, but when you're dealing with this corporation, this is what it means: an appearance, semblance, or simulacrum as distinguished from that which is real, right? An apparent right, hence a deceptive appearance, a plausible assumed exterior, concealing a lack of reality, a disguise, right? That's what color means, right? So when you go into court and you pretend like you are a color, they already know that you can't handle your own affairs. So if you go trying to get your land back and you're talking about you're a color, they're gonna be like, well, you're not even like the age of maturity. You need help still. How are we gonna give you land and you're a child?
So that's where that imbecile in law come from.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
can't handle your own affairs,
Can't handle your own affairs. Exactly.
which is dangerous because when you can't handle your own affairs and you have a parasitic entity you're dealing with, they will let me see. They will put you in my fault, y'all. My book has 360 something pages, so I'll be turning these.
I got another question. I got another question so people can understand this.
Yeah.
So they was doing this getting into these bloodlines over there in Europe and Africa first, because our ancient people traveled there. Then they get into the bloodlines on that side of the world from our ancient culture.
Yeah.
And then they already understood it when they came to America. And they was like the perfect scammer by the time they got to America, right?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
They had already figured out how to
mixed.
steal all the bloodlines and all their land and all their structures and everything.
Yeah, that's why and hey, look, man, if you mixed, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But that's why when you deal with mixed people's emotions, they have a hard time. And this shit is just like science, bro. Mixed people have a real hard time trying to figure out like what's going on because their blood is tainted. These are like the sins of your hey, it is what it is. This is the sins of your ancestors by mixing.
Hold on. It's crazy. Let me throw this in there now.
But hey, look, I just want to make it clear: I'm not an offensive person or individual.
You just telling the truth, bro. This we know the truth now. We telling the truth. We don't care how it go off to people that don't like it. The truth is the truth is the truth. But at the I want to say this. So that's why when people teach from a Moorish standpoint, or they teach from a Muslim standpoint or a Christian standpoint or any other thing like their standpoint, they always teach it as if they are the original people, because that's the only thing that they can gain some type of power from. That's why they try to get on here and trick us into believing we are those people, right? Because they are trying to steal what the real ancestors done. That's why they're so powerful. They stay on that so much. You are more. You this, you that, and it ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
So like to an extent, yeah, for sure. But like the thing is, like, if in order for the meek to inherit the earth, if the Moors would be like, yo, we conquered Spain, Portugal, and France, and we want it back. You know what I'm saying? We made Europe what it is. And then the Negritos would be like, yo, we made this area what it is. And then the niggas be like, yo, we made this what it is. This is our shit. We get the world back like that. But everybody's fallen victim to try to make everybody one thing. And that's not how nature works. Nature doesn't make everything one thing. or nature would be dull. You know what I'm saying? It'd be dull, right? So if niggas is connected to nature, then they would not go around trying to make everybody one thing, because they would respect the fact that nature creates an abundance. Shit is foolishness. You feel me? I don't know if that answered, like, or if that was like in league with what you were saying, but I feel like it was. But we gonna keep going. Fuck it then. You know that nigga. Hey, look, I made so much sense. This nigga still on mute. He was like, "Yeah, let me ponder on that." I'm just
Now,
gonna assume.
yeah, I
Hey,
was. Let me hop in there. Now, what we must understand is nature creates. Then to have a you must have a land mass to create. So when the waters recede and land pops up, things start to get created. So that separates us automatically. That's why they try to teach the Pangea thing, to try to put everything together as if we are the same people as an African or a European. That's not true. This land created us. That land created them. That's just how science works. So
if hey, look, if you ask me, I now this is just a theory, but I
yeah,
theorized that Pangea just means flat Earth.
yeah, I got that. I got that out of there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the pieces flat on the earth, but they still separate.
Right? Because if you hey look, because pan means a shallow pan, a dish, right? And then
Exactly,
Gia is really Gaia, so it really just
which is
means
earth.
a shallow Earth, a shallow flat
Yeah,
Earth,
a
right?
pan earth. Yeah, a pan shaped
Exactly.
earth with
You know what I mean?
a dome of a firmament. That's all
Facts.
this saying.
That's why they call it the hemisphere, right? Because it's a half a sphere. You know what I mean? But then you have the whole sphere, which is just made out of gas. It's called an atmosphere. Atmosphere is a compound word. It means atmos, which is a gas layer, and then sphere, which is the
Yeah,
circle. So it's just gas surrounded, right? So it looks more like a marble than anything.
exactly.
But you know, these, hey, look, that's all kind of other shit.
Yeah, you're exactly right, bro. So I'm just trying to show people that we are not the same people. Our people was here longer. We created that astrology and agriculture, and then
Facts.
when you take it to the other side of the world, those people are trying to claim our greatness by saying that they are connected to these people, and they are not. That's why I be telling people, don't let these guys who are not teaching you the truth teach you that, because we are different people. Like you said, that the earth creates different levels of things. Some are older and more power, just like the old cars of steel and new cars of plastic. That's kind of like what we're saying.
Facts.
We the steel cars.
You know what I mean?
we the 72 Caprice,
Hell
right?
yeah, we the shit you could run into anything and keep
You
it
can run into
pushing.
anything and still drive it home. But they are the 2006 Nissan Altima. That if
Well,
the wind blows, it's gonna crack it. It's gonna hurt it.
it costs $500 to get a new light.
Ah, you got it, bro. My
You know how that shit goes. Look, so there's something very important, right? Remember when we talked about culture, we said it's the collective achievements of a nation, right? Our nation, we were cultivators of land. Now you have things that happen throughout history that will explain that they attacked the collective, right? So it was an attack on our nation, right? You have the Great Land Grab, right? This majority of this land grab takes place around the Mississippi Delta, and everybody in here be all about that Mississippi shit, right? You know what I mean? Mississippians and everything like that, mound builders and all that stuff, right? That's what everybody be talking about, right? Black Americans were dispossessed of approximately 12 million acres of land nationwide, with a significant portion occurring in the deep south. Ain't that where y'all ancestors is from? Roll the corn. You know what I'm saying? Roll the goddamn corn.
The
You
great
feel me?
land robbery.
Yeah, this is called, hey, look, it's historically called the Great Land Robbery, right? So they let all these immigrants come in with the promise of land. So if they were promising all these immigrants land and y'all lost 12 million acres, whose land was these immigrants getting?
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you something I saw in Mississippi. I almost cried, bro. I saw this years ago. I'm riding through the Mississippi Delta, and I see a Queen Elizabeth farm sitting right there in
Wow.
the middle of the Delta.
Yeah, that's
And I
crazy.
said, and I asked my I think I was with my aunt. I said, Queen Elizabeth owned the land? She said, yeah, Queen Elizabeth owned a whole, I'm talking about tens of thousands of acres in the Mississippi Delta. And she sold them a couple of years ago because I kept researching it, right? But that goes back to the teaching what I was telling you that they got the agriculture land across the world and they understood where those people came from. And they came right back and bought and got the land where they knew those original people came from. And she bought all those acres in the Mississippi Delta because she knew the truth.
Exactly.
You got it. I just had to throw that in
Hey,
there. That's
nah,
crazy.
hey, look, hey, Slim, that's what it is, man. And that's the shit that you find when you start looking. You start to find this shit that is heart wrenching. You know what I'm saying? These people did it's a atrocious behavior. You know what I mean? The things that took place on this soil when it comes to our ancestors, in order for these people to get the land, right? So you'll go to a website and they'll talk about tobacco production in Virginia and shit like that, right? And you'll see a picture like this. Now, when you see a picture like this, what are you thinking? Slavery. Oh,
Plantation
niggas was slave.
slavery, yeah.
But something's missing. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, these people play funny games. Watch. Now, why did they choose the bottom half of the picture and not the top half? So
Exactly.
why they seen this whole picture when they found it, but they gave you the bottom half. You feel me? And they didn't give you the top half because the top half is what happens when you reclaim who you are. The bottom half is what they want you to what they want to give you. The top half is called reclaiming your sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? The top half is called restitution. You know what I'm saying? Restoration, where you get restored to your original place on the earth as the gods and goddesses. You know what I'm saying? This picture is a whole picture of usurpation and restoration. That's what that shit reminds me of when I see this photo. But you know, when they do their little bullshit, they're gonna give you that bottom half and tell you that's all you ever been.
They're trying to give you that bottom half narrative
Mm-hmm.
and take out the top half altogether.
You
Now,
feel me?
see, this is powerful to me also, bro, because my ancestry come through these tobacco farmers that look like this, right? This is
Facts.
where my great grandma come from. She still owned hundreds of acres of tobacco fields before it was taken through sharecropping in Texas, right? So this this the type of information that even I get emotional looking at because these people were great and then they lowered their standards and tell them they just were slaves at the bottom and we don't look at it as if as the people on the top and that's powerful, bro.
Hey, exactly. We have a lot of our people have a hard time seeing themselves as the people on the top, and that's why they push slavery the way they do, because they've been indoctrinated to the point where it's like, yo, they could hardly see themselves when they watch movies. I bet you when they watch pirate movies, they watch all these weird movies, they can't even envision their people taking a place of the characters that they see. They can only see the so-called white man's face when they watch movies as these characters. You know what I'm saying? But where do you think these characters came from originally? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
This is like identity theft, Slim. It's like, and you know,
It is.
sometimes you could steal people's identity and not take it for yourself. You could just steal it and hide it so that they can't have it back, right? And now niggas got to go find it.
See, that's what people don't understand. Hero comes from Haru. The first heroes were people of Haru teachings or Ma'at teachings. So it wouldn't be no heroes if it wasn't for ancient Haru teachings, because the original heroes came from those stories that they told about our people.
Facts.
It's fine.
Fire. Look, so The Pequot are a stately, warlike people, right? Damn, I'm kind of blind, so I'm gonna try. Their next neighbors are the Narragansetts, right? They had storehouses where they stored all such kind of wild merchandise. These men are the most curious of their Wampanoag and I can't read that, which they form out of the inmost reefs and periwinkle shells, right? The northern, eastern, and western Indians fetch all their coin from these southern minsters, right? And they have great stone pipes which hold a quarter of an ounce of tobacco, right? Which they make with steel drills and other instruments. So they were drilling and making stone pipes with drills. These are savages, by the way. These are the these are the savages that they found here, butt naked with nothing to do. But they were
with all this iron work that it takes all type of alchemy to make.
exactly ironwork and stonework, right? Now we know stonework is masonry, right? But I digress, right? So they said that they had all different kind of colors, right? They can make them green, sometimes black stone, right? They are much let me see. I'm trying to find something. Well, it says that they were industrious people, right? So it says that they were industrious. They were making stone pipes, and they had tobacco, right? These are the Pequots and the Narragansett, right? You know what I'm saying? The Pequot and the Narragansetts. You feel me? But these people got to fight they got to fight to get recognized, right? But these are the same people that they were just talking about that had the pipes, the stone pipes, the tobacco. You know what I'm saying? They were drilling them, making them different colors.
And the Pequot, they are the people that got killed when they came back in after the so-called Thanksgiving massacre.
Right, and Thanksgiving for us was a little bit different than what they try to say. Niggas was actually fasting during Thanksgiving.
I read a book that said the original tribes were fasting while the native tribes were eating up all the corn.
Exactly, because they don't have no respect for nature.
And they was like, and we was like, let them eat. Like they're not us. Like, let them eat. Like, they ain't got to do what we do.
They might be hungry.
They might be hungry. And that showed me a lot about history just in that little paragraph I read in this old book. That's fire.
Right? Boom. So we had the tobacco. Niggas, so they said niggas been cultivating tobacco since AD 1. Since the first year. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Cultivating tobacco.
Don't make sense. And like you got up on the screen, Nicotania rustica, mound builders tobacco.
You know what I mean? That's the shit that you've been talking about, right?
Yep.
I be listening.
And I be listening too, bro. Because when I hear from the right people, I know they are aligned with what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So
hell yeah.
It all makes sense. Like, I throw in pieces of the puzzle from people who understand, the land first.
Facts. And that's what this shit is all about. I hear my children. Hey, look, how long you gonna be live? Because I gotta I do have to take my daughter and drop her off at school, but and then I hear my son. We can
finish this another time. That was a great bill right there, man.
Because I got so much more.
So keep this bookmark right here.
Yeah.
Nicotania.
All right, go ahead, buddy. All right,
got you, bro.
No. We're gonna keep going a little bit. He was just
okay. All
right. So at that bottom it says, although they use it in some social settings, indigenous peoples use tobacco primarily in ceremonies. Now watch this. Right. So this is a tobacco Indian, right?
Yeah.
This is. They say this is the Europeans' view of the of the indigenous people. This is a tobacco Indian. That ain't no pale skin. I'm
Ain't
just
no
saying.
natives. Ain't no natives.
And
Nowhere
if it's
near
on
native.
pottery, then that means that it was a message, right? Because the ancient books say before language, a lot of the stories were told on through pottery, right? That's where
Yeah,
a lot of truth was told on pots,
exactly.
right? So you'll have a pot like that. You'll have a pot like that. You'll have a pot like this, the Mayan tobacco inhalation. But remember, they said they use it for ceremonies, right?
Exactly.
So the ceremonies, when it comes to this kind of shit, it's called capnomancy, right? Capnomancy is where you use smoke to get messages, right? That's what was taking place. All right, look, I gotta go because now they both in here. Hey, look, they gave me so much time of freedom. I don't know what was going on. I'm gonna go into when I go into another room, it's gonna be crazy. I know there's there's probably toys and blankets.
We'll start back right here, bro. Just keep this part. We'll go later or tomorrow or anytime. It's all good. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing today, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. If you live for like another 20 minutes, I just got to take her down the street real quick. But if you live still, I'll come right back and we can keep this shit going.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Shout out Rashad Poet, man.
Hell yeah. Why don't I got like 1,500 gifts? Y'all niggas fucking around. Y'all hear the babies in the back. Yo, send me some money. I got babies to feed.
Roll
the goddamn corn. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll be back.
Right. All right, brother. Now what he was getting into, we gonna finish that. I gotta talk to Rashad Poet a couple of days. Cause he got so much information that go along with what I be, when I get on here just ranting and hollering and talking shit. When he and it goes right along with the teachings that I be teaching, right? So I be wanting to connect with people like him, Casey Macon, Keisha the Hood Princess, people who kind of understand that the land and it is the most powerful thing that we once possessed, right? Our bloodlines and the land is the most powerful things. And agriculture started these first languages, and it comes from an agriculture place of here. And when he get on here and break it down in his book, it go along with a lot of stuff it go along with the basics of what I be teaching. I sometimes I go over the top, but if you learn the basics of what I'm saying, it all goes into a truth that's starting to hurt. Now he just was showing Mayans and Virginia Indians that was melanated using tobacco as rituals. My great grandmother my family land had a tobacco farm before Mississippi was a state, right? Now, if I just get to thinking logically, you showing me Mayans and melanated Indians and old mixed with tobacco. My bloodline come from those people, bro. Ain't no way around it. Like, we can't sit here and just be acting like we're not connected to these beautiful cultures. And my people were still growing tobacco in Mississippi on their own land, which was taken by the 1930s. This is not even 100 years ago, people. So we gotta look into that, right? I understand there's a lot of people that go along. I mean, they talk about the Indian part, but it's deeper than that, y'all. We are connected to source. Source means the original people of the land who cultivated the land, who created all of this Paleo-Hebrew, who created all of this agriculture and all this beautiful astrology knowledge. We are literally connected to all of it, right? And these are the people who they called Hebrews or Atlanteans, or these great gods and goddesses who came on ships and bought this stuff to other places in the world. We are the source. They try to make the source come from Africa. They try to make the source come from the Middle East or the Mediterranean Sea. The source is coming from the land we stand on right now. All these other people are lying, bro. And they doing it for a reason. The reason is we cannot let them people know that they are the first bloodline of the planet and their ancestors promised them the land and they still own it today. No matter what government came and done whatever they done. That don't trump the promise of your ancestors. You get it? So when we showing, like today, I just felt I needed to bring Rashad Poet up because he touches on a lot of things that I teach when I talk about these cultures going over to the other side of the world. When I give you the basics of it, you can understand it more. So when we mix with these people and we fought against these people also all over the world. And it shows two different people doing two different things. Sometimes it blends and sometimes they clash and they have war, right? So I just wanted to get back to the basics. Me and Rashad Poet gonna finish that conversation probably later tonight or tomorrow. But I know y'all can feel this information like I can feel it, right? I know y'all can feel this information like I can feel it because we are connected to that. Your grandmama and them and your granddad and them in that small town coming from source still runs in your bloodline today. And we forgot it. And they made us think we was something else and we never knew our real history. But these are Phoenicians, people. These are Hebrews. These are Carthaginians. These are the first Egyptians, the first Sumerians bloodline. These are bloodlines that built the greatest places in the world that they call aliens. They call these people aliens, people. How great are your people in ancient times? Because the Sumerian don't come from the Middle East, people. He ran feathers. He talking about the same astrology the Mississippian has. The mound builders on the Mississippi River. The Maya people. And they melanated. They melanated. Don't think they look like that alien Sumerian they be showing you, people. They don't look like that. They look like this. Abraham Roots, the son of Orphex, they look like this. This is the ancient culture of the world, people. These are our people. These ain't no damn aliens. Look at the bow and arrow on his back. The stars on his clothing. We got to start looking at this stuff a whole different way than what was taught, people. Now, if one of the 12 tribes' bloodline looked like Sumerians, the Sumerians are one of the 12 tribes' bloodline of a Timeri. That's a fact. This ain't no damn alien. And go to hell anybody who think they aliens. These are real people. They just was way more advanced and more sharp and on top of ancient culture connecting to the planet. That's why they planted crops all over the Fertile Crescent. Because they come from an agriculture. The African comes from a barbarous culture, which is no culture. Anybody you see with ancient agriculture, he got a bloodline of them first people. Because this world only went one way one time, people. Nobody this civilized didn't come from nowhere without no crops. You take the crops out, he poor and skinny. He don't look like that. He is well fed, well groomed, well clothed, he's wearing jewelry from mining. This is a civilized being. You go look at an ancient culture from Africa, they don't look like this. This is 3000 BC, this man looked like this. You get it? We're going to get a little deeper into this. We just getting started, bro. We just getting started. We finna crack the code on all these fake teachers and all this fake shit and all this mythology and lying and aliens flying. We finna kill. I keep telling that African dude who be wearing the little gold and black, you a lie in the comments. You lying, bro. Them not aliens. They aliens to you, they're not aliens to me. They try to sound like they are the knowledge and the information, but really they are rebuttaling what a hunter-gatherer taught them. Our people didn't teach knowledge came from the skies, the knowledge came from the planet. You ain't never heard no Egyptian say an alien dropped me off on the Nile. You ain't never heard no Sumerian saying ancient artifacts that they got dropped off on the Euphrates. No, they came there on boats. The Egyptian even put boats in the pyramid to let you know that we came on boats. We ain't fall out the damn sky. If that was the case, it'd be a spaceship in the damn pyramid. Why the Khufu boat there? Made out of American wood. Cedars don't come from over there. That shit come from here. We planted cedars in Lebanon. That's why they call it the cedars of Lebanon, because we planted the cedars in Lebanon. We brought growth and knowledge and humility to these areas. Our bloodline from over here, bro. One for that, them people will still be thousands of years behind. I love y'all and I'm in love with you. You see why I love you so much? That's why they on our back, people. This our land. They know we find out the truth. They got to get their ass out of here, and they going back to the poorhouse. It ain't because you just black, or they racist because I'm just black. No, they racist because you indigenous. You don't let no indigenous person who been enslaved and oppressed do better than you. The police pulled up on me at the gas station, people. Like, how you got a nice car? I'm like, bro, oh, I don't supposed to have it because I'm from the land. Y'all already took all my people's shit, so I don't supposed to have nothing. You got to look at how they looking at it, people. How did my government oppress these people and they still do well? It's bigger than just you being black. Like they say, you just driving while black. It ain't. It's bigger than that. You driving while indigenous. In your nice car, smiling and on the phone and not worried about them hunter-gatherers. And they mad at that. Because you don't even supposed to be doing that. You don't supposed to be doing that. You supposed to be walking dirty, no phone, while they ride by and they nice shit. That's what you supposed to be doing. That's what they want you at. Because they know what they done to you, your ancestors. We took all their shit. How are they still acquiring things? How they still living healthy and well and taking care of their people? It's bigger than you just being the color of your skin. It's the color of your land. You must put the foot on the neck of the people shit that we took. We must put them in jail. Give them some dope so we can put them in jail. Let them kill each other. The more die, the more won't come back and look for their land. You get it? We got to get deeper, bro. They don't want your indigenous ass around there looking better than them, and they didn't oppress you your whole life. That's what it's about. We got to put one of them up on a tree here and there. We got to try to put one on the tree here and there to keep them in line. I'm just telling you how they think, bro. From the bottom of my heart, I'm telling you how they think. You supposed to still be in the field right now, not without shit. On some land they took and you working for it, they want the free labor from you, bro. We just looked at it as free labor, prisoners of war. They don't want to pay you your paycheck. They don't want to do none of that shit. They got to do it to keep their money rolling. Only reason they pay us is because they got paid. We got to pay somebody to run this shit. Because we can't run it. That's the only reason they cut the check. They didn't want it. When they first got here, did they cut the check when they first got here? No. Wasn't no check cut. They want free labor, people. Free jails, free imprisonments, free everything. They are scammers on the land. Roll the coin. Now you see how this thing works. You take their land and make them work for you. And you tax their money. And how they still doing well out here, we done all that to them people. How? How they still look better than us? And we done all that to their ancestors. It bothers them, people. This man walked up to my car and asked me about a fucking machine, bro. I said, bro, that is a machine, bro. That's a machine. Ain't nothing but a fucking machine. You mad over a machine? Oh, you supposed to have a better machine than me. That car can't give me no hug, bro. That car can't come check on me in the hospital. I don't care nothing about that machine. You care about a machine. Because you are a materialistic being. And we don't supposed to have none of this stuff. That man left me alone. I talked to him like a straight hunter-gatherer. A machine? This fucking hunk of metal right here, bro, this ain't nothing, bro. It ain't got no soul, it don't feel, it ain't never tilled the soil. He looked at me like, this nigga crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy, bro. Leave me alone, because y'all are bothering me because y'all know what I'm on. Everywhere I go, different states. Y'all, these other guys who teaching a lie, they don't even get bothered. Them other guys teaching lies on the internet, they don't nobody fuck with them. They ride around looking YT all day. Don't nobody pull them over. I'm getting pulled over every fucking day. As soon as I crank the car up. Whoop. Cause see, what the difference is, I stand a threat. I stand a threat, bro. I stand a threat of us getting out just by sparking the conversation. I stand a threat with my people. These other guys are telling you Moors and you from over there and you hooked up with all that. You're Muslim from Middle East. You're Christians just like them. They're going to let them make it. Anybody teaching their narrative, they're going to let them make it, bro. They're not going to let us make it. No. They want us in jail. We stand a real threat. Them other guys just want some money like them. Other guys just want some money like them. They just like them. Turning melanated police officers acting just like them. When you act like them, they let you slide. They have no culture. I never act like them. Roll the coin. That's why people try to steal our identity, people. They want to be the great people, but they want to be on the side of the barbarism culture, but they won't act like they us. That's what's going on. And until we really realize what's going on over here, that they hate you because you indigenous, that's why they hate you. That's why they don't like you. You riding up the street in your brand new Mercedes, and we took all your ancestors' shit. They do not supposed to be doing that. Hit the lights. Pull them folks over, man. Hope they got something in the car. They on the land looking better than us. And my ancestors took their ancestors' shit. Let me put my foot back on their neck to put them back in perspective. The warden imprisoned people in their own castles. Let me say that again so you can understand what I'm saying. The warden enslaved people in their own castle. Why the jail called the warden? You get enslaved in your own castle. Leavenworth, that's our shit. The federal penitentiary, Leavenworth, that shit was built by our people long before they got here. Now we in prison, didn't it? By the warden. He went to war with us and imprisoned us in our own den. You get it? Roll the coin. Me and Rashad gonna finish this later on, bro. I love y'all. I'm in love with you. Y'all stay safe. I appreciate the support. Y'all support Rashad Poet book. We gonna finish chopping it up about that. I gotta do 2 or 3 lives with him to get all that information out before I go back into what I'm finna get into, because I'm finna get into some whole other shit. Cause see, now the puzzle is almost complete. I gotta finish the puzzle now. But we must lay down the base knowledge that goes along with all this other stuff we teaching, right? We ain't gonna sit here and talk about no damn deity all day and nah, we ain't finna do that. We're gonna break the deity down and go on, but we not finna get on here and just talk about deities all day. It's crazy. And my ancestors got a whole goddamn police station on top of their mound. We ain't even talk about, we got real bones. We talk about people with real bones that really live, that really are connected. Not all this shit that come out of a science fiction book. Roll the coin. Love y'all. I'm in love with you. Be safe. We're going to go live with Rashad Poet as soon as we get some more time, y'all. Roll the coin. We know the truth now. Y'all be safe out there, bro. Appreciate the support.